Ever wonder why a viral trend feels so familiar? Or why you feel an unexplainable urge to join the mob, or buy the product, or rage at a stranger? You think it is the algorithm manipulating you. You are wrong. It is something much older. It is the ancient stories deep within our collective unconscious, pulling the strings on your social media feed right now. In 2026, the Internet is not just a network of computers. It is a battleground for timeless human narratives. We are about to expose the hidden Jungian archetypes silently shaping every scroll, every click, and every part of your online life. You open your phone intending to check one message. 2 hours later, you are still scrolling. Why? Because the stories you see, they hook into something primal. A hero overcoming odds, a villain being punished, a lover finding their soulmate. These are not just viral videos. These are the building blocks of the human psyche. Carl Jung called them archetypes, universal patterns embedded in the collective unconscious of every human being born on this planet. For thousands of years, these stories were told around campfires, in temples, in books. Today, they are told in 15-second clips on a glowing screen. And that is why you cannot look away. The platform has changed, but the software running in your brain has not. You think social media is about what is new, but in reality, it is a mirror reflecting what is eternal. The influencers you follow, they are the new gods and goddesses. The trolls in the comments, they are the tricksters and demons. We are reenacting the same myths over and over again on a digital stage. But here is the danger. When these archetypes operate in the dark, they possess us. They bypass our logic. They hijack our emotions. And before you know it, you are part of a digital mob, acting out a script you did not write. So are you the player, or are you just a character in someone else's story? Let's peel back the digital veneer. Let's look at the gods walking among us. Take the lifestyle influencer, the one with the perfect morning routine, the flawless skin, the serene wisdom. You don't just admire them, you obey them. You buy the supplements they recommend. You adopt their habits. Why? Because they are channeling the archetype of the ruler, or the sage. In ancient times, you would have bowed to a king. Today, you click subscribe and add to cart. Your brain craves authority. It craves someone to tell you how to live, and the influencer fills that void perfectly. What about cancel culture? A public figure makes a mistake, and suddenly millions of people who have never met this person are demanding their destruction. Is it justice? Sometimes, but often it is something else. It is the collective shadow. We project our own suppressed anger, our own hidden sins onto a scapegoat. We destroy them so we can feel righteous. We participate in a digital stoning, driven by the same mob mentality that burned witches in the Middle Ages. The technology is new. The bloodlust is ancient. And what about love? Swipe left, swipe right. You think you are looking for a partner, but the apps are designed to trigger the archetype of the lover and the fear of the orphan. The endless search for the perfect match, the dopamine hit of a match, the crushing silence of being ghosted. It is a game played on your deepest biological needs. The algorithm knows exactly which archetype you are vulnerable to. If you are lonely, it feeds you the lover. If you are angry, it feeds you the warrior. It creates a personalized reality tunnel echoing your own unconscious back to you. You are not seeing the world. You are seeing a projection of your own psyche, amplified 1,000,000,000 times. And unless you wake up, you will keep acting out the same script, buying the same products, fighting the same wars, forever.
So, how do we break the spell? How do we navigate a world where ancient myths are constantly trying to hijack our attention? The answer is not to delete the apps. The answer is to learn to see the invisible, to develop a new kind of literacy, archetypal literacy. Here are 3 keys to decoding the matrix and reclaiming your mind. Key number 1. Spot the hero's journey. You see a video of someone cleaning their depression room, or losing weight, or building a business from nothing. You feel inspired. You feel hope. Why? Because you are witnessing the monomyth, the hero's journey, the call to adventure, the abyss, the transformation, and the return. It is the same structure as Star Wars or Harry Potter, but now it is compressed into 60 seconds. The content creator is the hero. The mess or the fat or the poverty is the dragon, and the product they're selling, that is the magic sword. When you understand this structure, you stop being a passive consumer. You start seeing the manipulation. You can appreciate the story without needing to buy the sword. You realize that the real journey is the one you take in your own life, not the one you watch on a screen. Key number 2. Identify the trickster. The internet is full of chaos. Trolls, memes, satire, fake news. This is the domain of the trickster archetype. The trickster is a shapeshifter. He mocks authority. He breaks the rules. He turns the sacred into the profane. When you see a meme that makes you laugh but also makes you uncomfortable, that is the trickster. He is necessary because he exposes the hypocrisy of the system, but he can also be dangerous. He can lead you into cynicism, into believing that nothing matters. When you encounter the trickster online, recognize his energy. Laugh at the joke, but do not let him steal your moral compass. Use his chaotic energy to question things, but do not let him destroy your faith in humanity. And finally, key number 3. Understand the algorithm amplification. The algorithm is not human. It does not care about truth or beauty or goodness. It cares about engagement. And do you know which archetypes generate the most engagement? The shadow and the victim. Content that makes you angry or afraid spreads 6 times faster than content that makes you happy. The algorithm amplifies the darkest parts of our collective unconscious. It creates an echo chamber where your fears are reflected back to you louder and louder until they become your only reality. If you engage with outrage, the algorithm thinks, oh, they like the warrior archetype. Let's give them more war. If you engage with self-pity, it thinks they like the victim archetype. Let's give them more reasons to be sad. You are training the machine on how to treat you. Every click is a vote. Every second you watch is a prayer to a specific god. So, the next time you feel your blood boiling or your heart sinking, stop. Ask yourself, which archetype is this content trying to activate in me? Is it trying to make me a soldier in a culture war? Is it trying to make me a desperate consumer? By asking that question, you create a gap, a tiny space between the stimulus and your response. And in that space lies your freedom. In that space, you can choose to scroll past. You can choose not to engage. You can choose to starve the shadow and feed the self. That is the alchemy of the digital age, turning the lead of unconscious consumption into the gold of conscious awareness.
Do not just listen to me. Do not just nod your head and think that was interesting, and then go back to sleepwalking through your feed. That is the trap. That is how the matrix keeps you plugged in, by making you think that intellectual understanding is a substitute for lived experience. It is not. So, here is my challenge to you. Tonight, when the house is quiet and the world is asleep and you reach for your phone, I want you to become a detective of your own soul. Do not scroll for entertainment. Scroll with intention. Your mission is to find just one piece of content that makes you feel a powerful, irrational emotion, a surge of anger, a wave of envy, a deep pang of sadness. Do not react, do not comment, do not share. Just stop and hold that content in your mind like a strange artifact. And then ask the question, which archetype is speaking to me right now? Is this the righteous warrior demanding I join a battle? Is this the orphan making me feel like I am not enough? Is this the lover promising me a connection that will finally make me whole? Just name it. Give it a name, because the moment you name the ghost, it loses its power over you. The moment you see the puppet master, you can cut the strings. If you are brave enough to do this, if you are ready to stop being a passive character and start being the conscious observer of your own story, I want you to make a declaration. Type the words, "I see you," in the comments below, and add the name of the one archetype that you see pulling the strings in your digital world the most. I see you, warrior. I see you, victim. I see you, sage. This is not just a comment. It is a spell of awakening. It is a signal to your unconscious mind that you are no longer asleep at the wheel. You are awake. You are watching, and you are ready to take back control. The stories will not stop, but your relationship to them can change forever. Do not let another day pass in the dream. Wake up. The stories will never stop. The archetypes, they are the very fabric of our being. They are the ancient rivers flowing through the collective unconscious, and you cannot stop the river. But you can choose which current to swim in. Once you stop being a puppet, you start being the author. The tension you have been carrying in your jaw, the constant hum of anxiety in your chest, it can finally begin to fade. You see the strings now, and that sight is your salvation. You realize that you are not just a character in someone else's viral trend. You are the sovereign of your own attention. This awareness, this is the real digital alchemy. But this is only one layer of the mystery. If today we learned how the collective stories pull our strings, next time we must learn about the specific blueprint inside of you, your own psychological DNA, your innate preferences that make some roles feel like home and others feel like a prison. In our next video, Carl Jung's Typology, we are exploring personal branding and digital identity in the creator economy. We are moving from being manipulated by the crowd to building an influence that is rooted in who you actually are. You won't want to miss that blueprint. Join us. Subscribe, not for the algorithm, but for the soul that is finally waking up. Share this with someone you know who is lost in the digital mob, because the most important narrative you will ever own is the one you write with your own life. I am 50 years old, and I have learned that the only way to outlive the delusion is to chase the truth inside. Go live.